One of the things that we do as real estate agents is we do a lot of negotiating on behalf of our clients. And what we try to explain to all of our clients is how to have a successful offer or counter offer if we're representing the sellers. There's a simple equation that I often will use to create a compelling offer. And there's three key things that buyers and sellers need to understand. You need to have motivation, ability, leverage will equal a compelling offer. So the first key thing we talk about a lot is motivation. So it's important to understand as a buyer before you start looking at your houses, what are your motivations? What are your needs and wants and why? So we talk about that a lot with buyers agents. As a seller, you understand your motivation. How soon do you want to sell, at what price, and what general conditions do you want to see? So before you even put your house on the market, you need to be aware. Before you even start looking at houses, you need to be aware of what your needs and wants are. The second thing is ability. From simple terms, with ability, we talk about mainly focus on financial ability. So as a buyer, what are you comfortable from a budget standpoint? And then as a seller, what price point? What's the lowest price point you want to go? In the Des Moines market, most sellers, they price their home in light of what they want to sell the house for. And from list price to sales price, with the Des Moines market, what's commonplace is that they get within 1% to 2% of their asking price for the sale there. And so that's important to understand as a seller, that you understand the Des Moines market. Some markets internationally or even nationally, it's common to be more of a barter system, but that's not how the Des Moines market is. How a barter system would be, you just throw a price out there and you just want offers to come in. But that's not how the Des Moines market works. Buyers will look at what fits their budget within their range, and sellers will list their price that way. That's what's common practice here. The next thing is leverage. You need to be understanding what leverage really means is like, who has the leverage? Is it a buyer's market or seller's market? And you just need to be self-aware of that. And so usually as a buyer, you want to be as accommodating as you can to the seller. So a lot of times buyers, if they really like the house and they feel motivated to buy it, as a buyer's agent, we just try to figure out what terms that we may not know to make it a motivating offer or compelling offer to the seller. So it might be close date, it might be a quick inspection time, it could be higher earnest money deposit. We try to figure out what that is. So I think it's really important to understand where leverage is at. And on a seller's side, you need to understand, maybe as a buyer, if it's more of a seller's market, that if you put an offer together and it's not very compelling, what's probably going to be happening in the background if you submit an offer is that the seller is probably having 10 showings happening that day. If that's what's going on, even if you submit an offer at 10 a.m. and you want a response by 6 p.m., you may not hear back till the next day because they might be waiting on the other 10 showings to see if there's other buyers that want to put offers in, because the seller has the leverage on that listing. You just need to be aware of that. And that will ease a lot of your frustration and annoyances with sellers. And so that's what's really important. So it's really important in negotiations and understand as a buyer and seller are those four key terms. And those are, again, there's motivation, ability, leverage. Well, hopefully those three things you understand, then hopefully that will create a compelling offer where we can get a deal put together. And a lot of that stuff needs to be figured out before you even start looking to put your house on the market to really understand where you want to arrive at. So hopefully this has been helpful. Reach out if you got any questions.